What is going on, guys? It's your boy K-Mac coming back at you with another cartoon conspiracy theory. Real quick in the background, you're seeing some Halo 4 gameplay. It's not the greatest. It's whatever. Just background for you guys. Now, the story we're going to be talking about today is the Flintstones being in a post-apocalyptic society. And this one's actually pretty cool. And it actually kind of ties in with the Jetsons theory, which I'll end up doing later, because apparently the Jetsons and the Flintstones are in the same universe. And this is not just me speculating. This is actually in the TV shows themselves. During an episode in the 1987 season of the Jetsons, there was actually an episode where Elroy makes a time machine to go into forward in the time, but ends up messing it up, ends up going back in time, and they meet the Flintstones, and there was a TV movie called The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones. But there's also a theory out there, which ties into the theory that I'm going to talk about, that instead of the time machine messing up and sending them back into the past where they meet the Flintstones, it actually didn't mess up. They just thought it messed up because the society that they got sent to in the future was the Flintstones, and it's post-apocalyptic. And, they're all living off of dinosaurs and whatever, because everything is so primitive. They're back to basics. And somehow there's a theory about how they cloned dinosaurs. I don't know. It's kind of an out there theory. I'll get to it in the next video. But anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about that before I jump into this theory. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here we go. In this scenario, the surviving animals left on Earth would get a fresh start on the irradiated planet. Without humans constantly all up in their shit, animals would be free to evolve and probably get smarter and gain intelligence. In the case of dinosaurs, they get a second lease on lives. When finally humans came back to Earth, because they were up in like the Jetsons, like they were up living in the clouds. That's the other part of the theory. They're all living in the clouds. That's why they're all up in the clouds, and this flying in the cities in the sky is because the ground and the planet itself has become irradiated and a nuclear wasteland and post-apocalyptic wasteland. But like I said, it's part of the other theory that I'll get to. But for some reason, it says here that dinosaurs were cloned back for some reason. It doesn't really give it a real good theory of why they brought them back, but they did bring back dinosaurs via cloning, just like they did in Jurassic Park. Probably out of the amber or of a fossil or something like that. Cloning technology is actually, I don't want to say it's getting to the point where they can do that from a fossil, but I know that they've cloned sheep from stuff like that, so I'm saying a couple hundred years in the future, it wouldn't really be a stretch of the mind to something like that being possible. So the animals and all the dinosaurs in the Flintstones are one of the biggest part of the show. They're animal-driven technology instead of a garbage disposal, for example. A pig sits underneath the sink and eats all their stuff, and they have pedal cars, and the bird's beak plays records, stuff like that. Then you suddenly realize that what we've long taken for a mere series of jokes of primitive family living and access to modern technology now looks something more grim, I guess you could say. These bird beak record players and dinosaur-powered factories are just the sad remnants of a world that used to be. Like a simple case of using what you have around you to rebuild what once was there. So it makes pretty good sense. In a post-apocalyptic world, there's not a whole lot of materials around, and it's hundreds of years since this, and people will start to come back to Earth, and they don't, obviously all of the higher end, more technology-driven people are still up in the clouds living, and unbeknownst to them, there are still a few people left on the actual planet itself down below, and they are starting a society from scratch. Basically, is what this theory is all about, is rebuilding society from scratch, using what they have around you to rebuild, instead of the scientific nerdy types, the smarter guys, being up in the clouds with flying cars and all of their stuff being in the cities, and all their sprockets and whatever the hell they have up in all Elroy's getting all those bitches up in the clouds. But one last thing to take into consideration is when the Flintstones originally aired. Now, it originally aired from 1960 to 1966, at the height of the Cold War. Was this kind of a play off of the height of the Cold War? Was this a post-apocalyptic society from, say, a nuclear showdown between the United States and the Soviet Union? Is this what they're trying to get at? See, I don't know if they were going for that, but that's what it seems to me like they were getting towards. They were hinting towards that this was a post-apocalyptic world of United States people being put on back together, getting things back on their feet after a nuclear showdown between the two superpowers in the Cold War. And that really makes me wonder, like, what if the Flintstones actually are us in the future, clinging to the best part of our past as they rebuild? I mean, the familiar technology, the entertainment, and the religion are all that remain from fractured memories of a shattered past. The Flintstones are living a life that's half the Matrix story or half the ending of WALL-E in a pretty brave world. But I don't know. I don't really know where I stand on this one. I think it's one of the better theories in my opinion. I do like this one a lot. I do see where the theory comes from. And it actually makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense in that the Cold War, a lot of things were crazy, and that there was a lot of nuclear war. People were being frightened by it. People were just all out up in arms about, the Soviets did this and the Soviets did that and this and that, and people were building nuclear bomb shelters and all kinds of stuff. Kids in schools were trained what to do in case of a nuclear attack, and it's a really interesting part of American history. It's a really interesting time period in American history, and I feel like it did influence pop culture. Like it did play a part in pop culture, and pop culture has everything to do with cartoons, and Flintstones are in fact a cartoon, so it could in fact have something to do with why the Flintstones was ever created in the first place. It could have been the overall reasoning behind a society that is quote-unquote post-apocalyptic, but it makes it seem like it's in the past. It's so far in the future that it's pretty much in the past. But that's all for this gameplay, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys drop me a like. It'd be very much appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for next week's video where I talk about the Jetsons. And that's it, guys. Game the fuck on. Until next time. Peace out. Alright, like I said earlier, you guys can go ahead and subscribe if you are new around here for next week's video and all of my other videos I'll be doing in between then. And go ahead and drop a like. It really helps out this channel a lot. It really helps more people see these great videos that I put out. And that's it, guys. Have a good day and game the fuck on. Until next time. Peace out.